Welcome to my second small animation tutorial. In this one I will try to show you a few helpful things like these auto actions, which I use for animation a lot. A bit of the Lighttable, which I don't use, but I have seen, I think, from the official Clip Studio Paint videos how someone used them, or maybe it was an animator who used this. But I know what it's for, and I try to show you as good as I can. But this is a little bit advanced. I usually don't use it. I do everything in my timeline with my onion skinning, but it's helpful if you have a character moving from the left part of the screen to the right part. But I'll show you. And what I forgot, how to export your animation. So first I'll show you those auto action things. There is a window here, and you can see I have an auto action for blur and for duplicate cell. You can find this window. You can find this window under Window, Auto Action, and this will show up. It has two modes. It has button mode, which I'm currently in with my buttons. If you press this little icon here in the top, you can get out of button mode and see what there actually is inside it. So these auto actions help you to record your steps, which you do over and over again. For me it was the duplicating cell thing, which I do very often. So I can show you what it does. I simply get here, I draw this line, and I draw this one. So you can see these are two different, and I want to duplicate the first cell. If it's highlighted, well, if it's bold, like you can see when I'm switching here over them, I can simply now press my duplicate cell, and it has made a duplicate. I don't have to go in here, drag it down and duplicate it and stuff. It isn't this much of a difference, but if I'm doing here and I have my buttons down here, I can simply go ahead, make some new frames, duplicate it, and instantly can keep on working, so I'm faster, and it's nice for me. Also, if I go ahead and want to blur my outlines, which I do for final images, I have made a blur button, which now I can press more often and it blurs. If the character is moving very fast and I want them to be blurry, or for an overall effect, which I like to do. Yeah. So you can switch out of button mode. I'll make another duplicate cell button. Then I can maybe it might start out not as a custom, it might start as a default. Here already are some buttons, but you can create a new set, name it. I did name mine custom, and here I'll be adding every new button I do for my personal use instead of those already created buttons. Now I can go down here, add new auto action. I'll name it test duplicate for this. So now I have it, and now I can start recording my actions to convert them into the button. Everything I will press now, if I draw something, or if I zoom in or such, these are all actions which the program now will record and show them to me. I can just do this. Okay, this doesn't work, but yeah, if I switch layers, it will record those actions, and of course I can go ahead, see what it did, and delete things I did wrong. like this. So now I want to record my action, my real action, which is duplicating a cell, a layer. I press the button, drag it to duplicate it, or simply press right click on it and duplicate layer. And I'll stop this action, and now this is recorded. I can use them here if I push this little play button, but I like to do it in button mode because it's nice and clean. And now I can go ahead, say I want this one, and you will see the second layer, or the layer named the layer named 2 will duplicate, and I have a layer named 2A now. There. So this is something I really often use. I will make more buttons in the future, but for now I use those the most. So if I don't want this anymore, I can simply go ahead and delete it, and it's gone. I can also have multiple actions in one, like my blurring here. I have 2 different. So now to blur much stronger, I can go back, make this again. I can also have both activated, and yeah. So much for the button mode and for the auto actions. So the second I wanted to show you is the Lighttable, which is a little bit more advanced, which you can find if you go here and use animation cells. This will show up. So if I draw something like I have my character being here, and I want him to move over here like this. Not exactly, but yeah, something like this. I can now make a new cell here, and I can drag the first and the previous one into these, and now I have this option to place it. So I'll be selecting both of them, and I can overlay them here, and now I can draw on this layer the character more exactly how I want him to move from here to here. One thing I noticed is that your onion skinning won't work as long as they are here. Maybe there is an option I didn't find, but I don't exactly know. But yeah, that's basically what this Lighttable is for. If you want, well, if you have a close-up more and you want the lines being more exactly, this is really a helpful option. And now I think I can simply, remove them from my Lighttable, and everything is clean again. The same if I want to make an in-between here. Again, I'll be taking the first and the previous one. This is where I want to have my character. Of course, I could just draw him here and it would be okay, but you can see the head is too small, the body is too long and such. That's where this option really helps me, overlapping my frames, so I can make this properly and do this. Now again, I'm gonna throw them out. There we go. That's basically what I know about the Lighttable. I always just start out with basic shapes. I have like this really basic form here for the body, making this, knowing where my shoulders are, doing these things, and then somewhere doing those, so I know where I am, and later I can just simply select the layer, press change layer color, which will change it to blue for me, make a new animation layer with a new cell, and start making it more clean. Of course, for closest I would I can change the opacity down and see what's weird. Everything's weird. Yeah. Of course, for closest I make the same. I make an extra sketch layer over the basic shape layer, and I start sketching out my clothes or hair. And if it's animated, of course, I have like 6-7 layers for every single thing, like I would do now, and add another layer there, just for the hair, making it something like this. And yeah, everything as I already explained. And the last thing I want to show you with an animation I'm currently working on weekly in my Saturday night streams, well, at least Saturday night for me, or my French invasion people. How to export your animation. And also, as you can see, as I said in my first part of the tutorial, you can see I haven't colored over or very much over my save frame. You can see it better. My save frame is inside, well, everything you see is inside this blue rectangle. So you won't be seeing these errors here I have with the painting. You won't be seeing the missing head paint, or here the fur. And because that is in my save frame, I will export it now to show you how to export it properly, or at least how I export it. I don't know if it's properly, but I haven't had any issues till now. You will see this, everything that goes over this rectangle won't be visible in the export. So you simply go under File, Export Animation, Animated GIF if you want to export it as a GIF. You can also export it as image sequences. This will be like, which are this? 23 frames. So it will export it as 23 separate images. You can make a GIF out of it, or just simply have 23 images. Or as a movie, like an AVI. First I'm going to use animated GIF. I'm going to save this on my messy desktop as a test GIF. Save. So now I can set the width and the height for it. Usually if I just show it on my Tumblr with my current progress, or also with my Echo AMV, I use it for like 500 to 600 width, so I don't get over the 2 megabyte MB limit that there is, because the smaller your GIF is, the better, the smaller the GIF size will be. But I can also do it like the full size, which is this currently. But let's go ahead with my 560. It will adjust the height also. Output range is from which frame to which frame I want it. If I have framed it in my timeline like I have here with my blue markers, it will just show this. I can also oh, okay, I can't. I have to, no, I can't even anymore. I have to frame it. I can't go over this now if I framed it in my timeline, because it seems for the export it now has not everything which is the full timeline, the full length, to just only what I framed. So this will be just as I can do less. I can go from just 35 or something, but I will do as I framed here now, this small part only. And, which is weird, it always starts with a frame rate of 8 FPS. I don't want this, I want my full 15 frames. There, you gotta watch out, or else this will come out like really slow. It will be half as fast as it would be now. I don't know why it does this, but it's like this. And dithering is like smoothing out your animation. So like my gradient which I have here, with dithering it will still be smooth as possible. Without it, it will try to, well, this is no strong gradient, but in a strong gradient it will try to separate the colors. So it would look, maybe, as I said, in a strong gradient at least, something like this. You will clearly see every color used there. With dithering it will try to merge or let the colors flow into each. Now again to my output settings, putting it back down to 18. Of course the dithering will make the file size go up, so you just export it and look how it looks like. If it looks good, it's okay. If it's not too big. If it looks also good without it, even better. So I press OK. I let it count through the frames. Wait a second. And now I can see how large it is, and it's 1 MB large. Well, and here says what you can do to reduce the file size. And here we go, here it is. And as you can see, as I said, everything outside of my blue rectangle, outside of my save frame, is not visible here. And that's good, because I can draw over my lines, I can draw over my frame, and this gives me still the feeling I know where my fluffy hood is going or where my cloth is falling, if I'll be more zoomed out of the scene. And I don't have to worry about it when I export it. Also, I can export it as a movie. There. And in the movie settings, I read that you want it exported as AV 1.0. I don't exactly know why. You'd have to Google it. And it says if the view is smaller than 2 GB can be exported. That usually should be how it should be. Yeah, I can export it like really big. Now my settings gone. Going back here. Alright. Enable transparency, I think, if you want to export a transparent movie. I don't know why. Maybe for AMVs. And frame rate again. And here I can really mess with my settings, so you gotta watch out what you do here. Now I can press OK. I have some codecs here, but I want it uncompressed. If I want to throw it into like After Effects, I don't have After Effects, I use Fusion 7.5 because it's free and it's something similar to After Effects, and there I can just throw in a blur or glow or some after editing settings. So I want them uncompressed, so I don't have like weird noise in the background or in my animation overall, and have a clean movie or AV file. You can't export a mover, so you always have to export as an AV. Let's see. There we go. Nice and clean. And that's it. I hope it helped again a bit. And let me know in the comments or on my Tumblr if you want to see or want to know anything more or have feedback for me. Thank you very much.